You're listening to Puma Podcast.
Hi, I'm Franco Luna, Puma Podcast. You're listening to Teka Teka News, balitang thinking, hindi breaking. In this episode,
the real issue on the cases at hand is whether or not the conduct of Representative Arnolfo Arnie A. Teves Jr. is staying abroad with expired travel clearance and his continued defiance to the orders of the House to return to the country and perform his duties as House member constitute disorderly behavior.
it's the latest high-profile murder case involving politicians. Here's why Representative Arnie Teves is refusing to come home, despite being implicated in the murder of Governor Roel Degamo.
This case became a celebrated one because it has put the institution with different views and perspectives surrounding his failure to return to the country despite the expiration of his travel clearance.
That's Party List Representative Felimon Espares. He's chair of the House Ethics Committee. 292 lawmakers unanimously voted on March 22 to suspend Representative Arnolfo Teves for 60 days for his continued absence. He'd been abroad long past the date authorized by House leadership, and so the suspension means he's denied salary, office space, and other privileges. That's a big deal. The last time the lower chamber sanctioned one of its own was 5 years ago.
Sabi nila gusto nila akong marinig, pero nakiusap ako na magsalita ako via Zoom para they could hear my side. Hindi nila ako pinayagan. Kailangan daw talaga face-to-face. Hindi ko maintindihan bakit pinipilit nila ako pumunta face-to-face na nakiusap nga ako na hindi magpapakita muna doon ng physical dahil sa seryosong pagbabanta at grabing pagbabanta sa aking buhay.
Teves and his team eventually took to social media to air their side. In a series of vlogs posted to his personal Facebook, Teves said the panel never gave him a chance to speak at the House probe. That's among other claims he made.
Sinabihan ako na may order daw galing sa palasyo na idiin ako, lalo na doon sa killing. Pero bago pa yung killing, may operation na. At may nagsabi din sa akin na may order din daw sa palasyo. Sa totoo lang, hindi ako naniniwala na si President BBM mag-o-order na tirahin ako or i-operate ako para lang masolo ng ibang tao ang sabong. Hindi ganon si President BBM.
This all started with the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo. Degamo was ambushed by armed men carrying high-powered rifles as he was distributing ayuda near his residential compound in Pamplona town. Authorities later said some of those men were former soldiers dishonorably discharged from the Philippine Army. 8 provincial staff members and residents were killed during the attack that day, while 16 others were wounded. In the wake of the killing, the military and police deployed more forces to the area to ensure peace and order.
Congressman Davis yung pagkain. Si Paus namin, yung may-ari ng nagtanong kasi ako kung sino may-ari ng Davis. So, wala kong pangalan na sinabi.
Si Congressman Teves. That's what the two suspects, Jovic Labrador and Benji Rodriguez, had to say while they were being escorted to detention at the NBI headquarters in Manila. Teves was already an early suspect. That's because Degamo replaced Teves' brother, Pride Henry Teves, as provincial governor after the Comelec annulled Pride's proclamation as the winner in the May elections. But the suspects never specified which Teves they were referring to. They said they never personally met the mastermind behind the plot. But 5 suspects in Degamo's killing are already in custody as of press time. Most of them were former military, the DOJ said.
Very critical. Pwede mo sabihin sa inyo. Very critical ang information niya. Main player, one of the main players dito sa naganap na pangyayari. Itong taong ito, kasama siya.
That's Justice Secretary Boying Remulla. He was talking about the NBI's initial interviews with the suspects.
Ngayon, yung mga sinasabi niya, number one, corroborates previous statements given to us. And number two, he knows the other people who were involved. Kaya alam natin yung extent ng network. Kaya marami pa kaming persons of interest na hinahanap.
Tevez left the country for a supposed medical trip to the US in late February, just days before Degamo's ambush. And as you heard, he's been denying all the allegations in his Facebook vlogs, insisting it's all part of an elaborate conspiracy against him, and that's why he's refusing to come back to face authorities. His latest alibi is that he underwent a stem cell procedure. Tevez and his family have been raided by authorities twice now since the killing, both in their homes and business properties. Police say they found a cache of weapons and explosives there, including 18 million pesos in cash, multiple firearms, and nearly 10,000 rounds of live ammunition. Here's Attorney Ferdinand Topacio, Tevez's lawyer.
Ibang klase po eh. Dalawang waves ang team. Yung una dumating in full battle gear, napakarami. Naka-long arms, pumasok. In-exclude nila lahat ng occupants ng mga bahay na pawang mga babae, members ng Women's Brigade ni Congressman Tevez. At may video na nakalagay. Dyan lang kayo, huwag kayong susunod. Pumasok sila. Merong ebidensya na may dala-dala silang mga fully laden na mga bags, mga backpacks pagpasok. Hindi pa po yun yung search team. Ang pretext nila, isi-secure daw nila yung area, baka magbarilan. Saka pumasok yung search party.
Now, authorities haven't officially linked the confiscated weapons to Degamo's murder, but charges have already been filed against Tevez and his sons for illegal possession of explosives. Tevez's camp also claims the issue goes back to his suspected ties to Sabong International, an e-Sabong site on social media flagged by PAGCOR. Asked about that, President Marcos wasn't so convinced.
Ang punot dulo nito ay Sabong. Hindi, ang punot dulo nito ay pagkapas lang kay Governor Degamo. Nagka-problema na kami sa Isabong noon. But that's not what this is about. Because nung nagkakaroon ng Isabong doon, hindi naman natin ginawa itong reorganization. Hindi natin linipat yung mga pulis, hindi natin pinasok ang military dahil sa Isabong. This is about the killing of Governor Degamo, pure and simple.
We're pausing for a quick break now. When we return, could it be true that this is all down to Isabong?
To reassure him, sabi, we'll provide all kinds of security kung anong gusto mo. Mayaman ka naman, may private jet ka naman eh. Maglanding ka kung saan mo gusto, papaligiran sa Air Force Base. O maglanding sa Basa. Papaligiran natin ng sundalo, wala makalapit na 1 kilometro. So that will guarantee his security. So we have made all of these offers, pero siyempre hindi pa siya nag-decide.
That's President Bongbong Marcos again. He was reacting to the vlogs released by Representative Arnie Tevez, who claims Malacanang insiders were conspiring against him because of Isabong. There could be something there. After all, as early as January, Tevez was already accusing Interior Secretary Benher Abalos of ordering authorities to plant evidence linking Tevez to illegal Isabong operations. Tevez says the raids on his home were months in the making.
Kaya rin sinabi ko na may threat sa akin dahil nung January 11 pa lang, binanggit ko na to sa press ko namin ni Attorney Topacio na may balak silang i-raid yung bahay ko. At nangyari nga. Yun talaga yung kinakatakot ko, Mr. President, kaya hindi ako umuwi. Hindi to tungkol sa murder, Mr. President. Gusto ko lang malaman mo talaga. Dahil January 11 pa lang, may operation na ang mga ibang tauhan dyan sa gobyerno laban sa akin.
So to recap, there are two theories Tevez is floating. First, that the death of Degamo is part of some larger conspiracy against him. And second, that there's an order from inside Malacanang to blame him for the killings. But again, this is an ongoing case with lots of twists and turns, so it may take years before the truth surfaces. What happens now? Justice Secretary Boying Remulla says Tevez isn't in the US anymore. He's somewhere in Southeast Asia. Teves and his legal counsel say he's willing to come back home if authorities can guarantee his safety, to which President Marcos replied,
The only advice I can give to Kong Arnie is that habang tumatagal ito, mas nagiging mahirap ang sitwasyon mo. So, mas maaga kang makauwi, mas marami pang option ang mangyayari. Pero pagka masyado ng late, wala na, mapipilitan ng gobyerno, we will have to move without any discussions with him.
It's worth pointing out that Negros has always been a hotspot of politically linked violence and political rivalries. In Negros Oriental alone, there have been at least 78 unsolved killings since 2016, according to the Defend Negros social media campaign. The Degamo family has also said it intends to push for Teves to be removed from his position completely. Whether or not Teves comes home and faces the music, only time will tell. Here's Pamplona Mayor Janice Degamo, the late governor's wife, with the final word.
Ang palawagan sa national government, Governor Degamo did not deserve that kind of death. He was serving his constituent on a Saturday along with his department heads. There were 5 others who died with him, who were there to ask for help. Give the governor the justice he deserves.
And that was today's episode of Teka Teka News. Again, I'm Franco Luna. This episode was edited by Pidoy Blanco. If you like this episode, share it with a friend or two. And of course, don't forget to follow Teka Teka News and Puma Podcast on your favorite podcast app or on YouTube. Thanks for listening.